ChatGPT is an OpenAI tool that knows quite a bit of information, but how much does it know about Forza Horizon 5, and does it have any tips and tricks that you can use to your advantage while playing the game? Let's find out. So let's start off with a nice and easy question. What is FH5's cover car? The cover car for Forza Horizon 5 is the Mercedes-AMG Project 1, that is correct. And then it's giving us a bunch of information about the AMG Project 1. Although, fun fact, it's not actually called the AMG Project 1 anymore. It's just called the AMG 1 because after they put it into production, they just dropped the word project. But that was pretty good. So now let's see if it knows where is the Grand Pantano barn find. And it doesn't really seem to know that, so yeah, it just says that they're hidden in different locations throughout the game world. So yeah, I mean, that's not really helpful. It's about as helpful as a chocolate teapot, to be honest. So how about we ask where in Forza Horizon 5's map is the stadium located? The stadium in Forza Horizon 5 is located in the southern part of the map, just south of the Horizon Festival site near the town of Guanajuato. I'm not sure you can really say it's in the southern part of the map, it's pretty central to be honest, but it is near the town of Guanajuato, and yeah, I'm not really sure what festival site it's referring to when it says it's near the Horizon Festival site, but it seems to have some idea of the map of the game. It still isn't that accurate, which I was kind of expecting, to be honest. Let's see what it knows about the different cars in the game. So let's ask, what is the most expensive car in Forza Horizon 5? The most expensive car in Forza Horizon 5 is the Pagani Huayra BC Roadster, which is priced at 10 million credits. Yeah, this couldn't be more wrong really. The BC Roadster isn't even in the game. But even if it's referring to the Pagani Huayra BC, that I don't think is 10 million credits. How about asking what is the fastest car in Forza Horizon 5? The fastest car in Forza Horizon 5 is currently the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus. Again, that's a car that's not even in the game. In real life, that is the fastest car, but the Chiron Supersport isn't in Forza Horizon 5, so it certainly isn't Forza Horizon 5's fastest car. So again, this information isn't really that helpful. What about if we ask what is the top speed of the Koenigsegg Jesko, which is in fact the real fastest car in Forza Horizon 5. In Forza Horizon 5, the Koenigsegg Jesko has a top speed of around 301 miles per hour. I think that is actually correct when it's stock, but when it's upgraded it can go quite a bit faster than that. Although actually it mentions that top speed of 301 miles per hour is when it's fully upgraded and tuned, which is not correct. Because if your top speed tune has only got a top speed of 301 miles per hour, you've done something fundamentally wrong. And then it also says, however, the top speed of a car in Forza Horizon 5 can be affected by various factors such as its tuning, upgrades, and the driving conditions. This is all true, but it still doesn't really answer the primary question, and it is somewhat misleading. Let's see if it knows anything about what the best cars are for certain classes. So let's ask, what is the best car for A-class road racing? Choosing the best car for A-class road racing in Forza Horizon 5 depends on your driving style and personal preferences. And then it's given us a list of 5 different cars for A-class road racing that it thinks are fairly good. However, most of these I don't think are even possible to have in A-class, so I don't know where it's getting this information from. And it hasn't even mentioned the meta car for A-class road racing, which is the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. That thing is like super OP for A-class, so yeah, I'm surprised it's not even got that, to be honest. What about if we ask a question like this the other way round? So we say, what class is the Bone Shaker best at in Forza Horizon 5? The Bone Shaker is a unique car in Forza Horizon 5 that is categorised as a B-class car by default. However, it can perform well in other classes with proper upgrades and tuning depending on the type of race or event. In general, the Bone Shaker is best suited for off-road races such as Baja circuits, cross-country race events, or dirt scrambles. What? Well, that's certainly not right. It's high ground clearance, robust suspension, and wide tyre. Oh, maybe it's thinking of the Baja Bone Shaker. That could be why it says that. But once again, this information still isn't really that helpful. How about we see how good this AI bot is helping with tuning cars? So let's ask what drivetrain the Mosler MT900S should have for S2 class. The Mosler MT900S is a high-performance supercar that can be competitive in S2 class races in Forza Horizon 5. When it comes to selecting the drivetrain for this car, it depends on your driving style and preferences. That being said, the most common and recommended drivetrain choice for the Mosler MT900S in S2 class is the all-wheel drive system. No, it is not. All-wheel drive provides better traction and stability, especially in low grip situations. Okay, that is true, but to be OP in S2 class and to be fighting for the wins in online races, you do ideally need to be rear-wheel drive and get that extra power which allows you to have the extra top speed. So some of its reasoning here is correct, but the overall recommendation and the direction it's steering you in is completely wrong. What about if we ask it how to make a good tune for dirt racing? Making a good dirt racing tune in Forza Horizon 5 requires some experimentation and knowledge of how different car settings affect performance on loose surfaces. Here are some tips and steps you can follow to create an effective dirt racing tune. Choose the right car, that is a good first step to take. Adjust the tyre pressure. On dirt surfaces, tyres need to have low pressure to create more surface contact and grip. For optimal performances, you should adjust the tyre pressure according to the car and specific track you are racing on. That's a very good tip right there. Adjust the differential settings. The differential settings control the amount of power sent to the wheels, which affects how the car handles on dirt surfaces. You may want to experiment with different settings to find the right balance between grip and acceleration. Adjust the suspension settings. Suspension settings can have a big impact on how a car handles on dirt, as they determine how the car responds to bumps, jumps and uneven terrain. That is, again, pretty good advice. Adjust the transmission settings. In general, a shorter gear ratio is better for dirt racing, that is correct again. Fine-tune other settings such as alignment, brake balance and downforce. And lastly, it says test and refine the tune, which again is a very important thing to do. So it's really nailed that answer, to be honest. It's given us some great advice for how to make a good dirt racing tune. Let's ask it some tips as to how we can get better in Forza Horizon 5. Here are some tips that can help you get better at Forza Horizon 5. Practice. Like any skill, practice is key to improving your driving skills. The more you play, the more you become familiar with the game mechanics, tracks and different cars. Yep, practice certainly does make perfect. Try different cars, yeah, that's also a pretty good idea if you're looking to improve in the game. Customize your settings, yeah. Focus on cleaner driving. Well, I mean, from what I've seen, the way you win races online in particular is just by ramming off your opponents. So, I think dirty driving is the way forward. Learn the tracks, yeah, that certainly does help. That's quite an underrated thing, really. Learning the tracks to the point where you know what corner is next, and you know the radius of the corner, and you know your braking point. That's very helpful, and once you know all the tracks in the game, it'll be a lot easier to be winning online races. Upgrade and tune your cars, yeah, that's very important. Participate in different events and races. And lastly, it says join a community. Joining a community of players can give you access to tips, strategies and insights on how to improve on your skills. That's why I think you should join the Shadow Racing community by subscribing, and if you have any questions you can just ask me in the comments. Perfect. So those are some pretty good tips on how to get better. What about for more specific things like how to drift well? Firstly, it says choose the right car. Drifting requires a car that is lightweight, rear-wheel drive and has a good balance. Yes, that's true. Cars like the Mazda RX-7, Nissan Silvia and BMW M3 are popular choices for drifting. Yep, they sure are. Turn off assists. Turn off any assists like traction control, stability control, they can interfere with your drifting. Yep, that's also correct. Start with small drifts and then get a feel of how your car handles. I suppose that is a good idea. Learn to control the throttle, that's also a pretty good one. You don't want to just always be going full throttle because that can easily cause a spin out. Use the handbrake. The handbrake is a useful tool for initiating a drift. Yep, that's correct. Counter steer. As you initiate a drift, turn the steering wheel in the opposite direction. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty basic one. Practice different techniques. Experiment with different techniques like feint drifting, clutch kicking, and power over drifting. Each technique has its advantages and disadvantages, so find the one that works best for you. And then learn to link turns. Once you've mastered basic drifting, try linking turns together to create a continuous drift. Okay, so those are also some pretty good tips there. What about like maybe some good eliminator tips? An error has occurred. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Right, so we've had to refresh the page, so I guess we have to ask that question once again. So be aware of the shrinking zone, stay on the move, avoid collisions, keep an eye on the mini-map. Yes, that's a very important one. Upgrade your car. Well, I mean, that's a very, very basic tip. I don't think anyone really doesn't upgrade their car. If you don't upgrade your car, then you literally don't have a chance. Use power-ups. Power-ups give you a temporary boost in speed or provide other advantages. Keep an eye out for power-ups on the map and use them strategically to gain an edge on your opponents. Well, I don't know what game this is thinking of, but Forza Horizon 5 certainly doesn't have any power-ups in any game modes I can think of. The only times you do get power-ups are in custom event lab maps. Be patient. Eliminator events can be fast-paced and chaotic, but it's important to stay calm and patient. Don't rush and make reckless moves that could knock you out of the race. I mean, being patient sometimes can help, but I find generally just being aggressive initially, getting into a good car, and then at that point just kind of limiting who you challenge to limit the risk and just hold on to that car until the end is generally a pretty good tactic. So you certainly don't want to be patient from the off, because otherwise you'll get left behind and all the other players will be in much better cars than you. I think we're going to end the video there. This tool certainly has some good tips from the driving side of things, and it also can help you with tuning and give you tips in quite a few ways. However, it is pretty useless when it comes to helping you select the right car. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for plenty more Forza Horizon 5 content, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.